I hope I can play better in the next time. Yes. No.
For many years, Fan Zhendong was almost a symbol of the Chinese forehand system. His explosive forehand loop, heavy first topspin, and brutal counter loop from mid-distance were built around one classic combination: a hard Chinese tacky rubber, usually DHS Hurricane 3. That setup has been the gold standard for generations of Chinese players, from the national team all the way to provincial systems. So when fans saw him recently using Butterfly Dignix 09C on the forehand side, many were surprised. And after his losses in the high-low ETTU Champions League Men Final 4, the questions became even louder. What happened to Fan Zhendong? The result was shocking. In the final, Fan lost 0-3 against Alexis Lebrun and then lost again to Felix Lebrun, which was officially recorded as another defeat for Saarbrücken star, although his team still won the title thanks to Truls Moregard. This is unusual because just this year, Fan had already beaten Lin Shidong and Wang Chuqin in top-level events. That means his overall level is clearly still world-class. He did not suddenly become weak. The explanation is probably much more technical. The first thing to understand is that changing from Hurricane 3 to Dignix 09C is not just changing a rubber, it is changing an entire playing philosophy. Hurricane 3 is the heart of the Chinese forehand system. It is hard, tacky, and relatively slow unless boosted. It rewards full body engagement. The player must use legs, waist, forearm, and timing perfectly. In return, the spin is monstrous. Fan's old forehand had exactly that: huge arc, heavy kick, and devastating power on the third ball. That is why Chinese players love it. It gives them the maximum spin quality when they can generate the power themselves. Dignix 09C is different. Interestingly, it is also slightly tacky, and Butterfly itself lists Fan as one of the players using it. But it is still a hybrid Japanese rubber. It has more built-in spring, a different throw angle, and a different rebound. It feels more direct and faster on passive shots, but it does not behave exactly like boosted Hurricane 3 in the short game or on the first opening loop. That means even for a superstar like Fan, adaptation is real. A small timing difference at this level is everything. If your contact point is half a fraction earlier, the ball flies long. If the arc is slightly higher, a player like Felix or Alexis can take the ball earlier and pressure you immediately. Against the LeBron brothers, who play ultra fast close to the table, that timing issue becomes very visible. They give you no time to adjust. Why would he change? One reason may simply be freedom. Outside the strict Chinese national team system, players can make personal choices more easily. Another reason may be convenience. Hurricane 3 at pro level is usually heavily customized and boosted. In Europe, using Dignix 09C gives a high-performance tacky feeling without the same dependence on Chinese tuning methods. It is easier logistically for a club player who travels constantly. There is also a style reason. Fan's backhand and receive game have become even more compact in recent years. Dignix 09C can support faster transition between forehand countering and backhand pressure. Maybe he is trying to modernize his game for the European circuit. Still, one truth remains: Fan's greatest weapon was built on Hurricane 3. His forehand was not just powerful because of his body, it was synchronized with that rubber for more than a decade. When you separate a player from the equipment that shaped his muscle memory, even a champion can look uncomfortable. His English interviews are also worth mentioning. Fan now speaks much more comfortably in English than before, and that reflects a broader change. He is no longer only the Chinese national team icon. He is becoming an international professional athlete, adapting to European clubs, foreign teammates, and global sponsorships. That is a big career shift, not just a rubber change. The two losses to the LeBron brothers were not the end of Fan Zhendong. They may simply be the first visible signs of a world champion rebuilding his game for a new chapter.
And I very enjoy our spend the time together. Yeah.
That's nice.
Hallo an Zhendong.
Remember your first day coming here to Saarbrücken?
I remember. Yes. I think everyone very kind and they helped me a lot. I have very happy time in Saarbrücken.
Now we're coming here, want to win the 4th Champions League title in a row, so it's going pretty good. We have a lot of fun outside the table, which I always think is very important and very good for the team. So very positive season so far, and now we want to end it, of course, on the best note.
Amazing. And
虽然不能 fully express my emotion in English, but I want to speak English. Yes, this is Daco last time. This is my first time play the Final Four, and for me also I think it's a special moment. And yesterday I think I play my normal style, but today I think the Brown brother give me many pressure, and I think I'm not play very well, but doesn't matter. Our team very strong, and I trust everyone teammates and Truth and Daco today also play very well and help us to win the title. So I also very appreciate in this season I can learn more in our team, in our teammates. So I think for me it's many grow up. Yes, I hope I can play better in the next time. Yes. No. This title I hope I can got, but I know I need to do many efforts so I can help the team. But unfortunately today I can't help the team, but our teammates play very well, and they play an amazing match to help us to win the title. So I'm very happy, and I also can learn we can learn each other. Yes.
Read more about table tennis on my blog, PingSunday.com. Get free ebook and coaching advices. See you in the next video.